Hey folks, so I'm back from the tournament this weekend. That was the Powerfists and Psykers 2 put on by OnePlus Armour down in Gatineau. And I really had a lot of fun going out to this one. I don't get an opportunity to go out of town to go to tournaments very often, so I was really happy I got a chance to go to this. I got to see some friends I haven't seen in a really long time, and I got to get 4 games in one day. That's one thing I love about tournaments. Now, I put the results in the description below. I did place 18th out of 22. I got 3 major losses and then 1 major win. First one was against Tau. It was Storm Surge and just a ton of shots. They had the Riptide, and I tried my best to focus on the objectives and try and limit the amount of shots taken and try and dish out as much damage as possible, but it didn't quite work out. I did eventually just get outshot and destroyed. Next game was against some Eldar, and they had a lot of jet bikes and 2 aspect formations and a Wraith Knight, and then a bunch of the D-cannon emplacements. And it really came down to who went first, because did we ever dish out a lot of damage on both sides. I got the Wraith Knight down to 1 wound, and I really should have focused a little bit more attention into it, because wow, it caused a lot of damage, as well as just the shots back from the scatter laser bikes, and wow, it was a lot of fun. And I really did appreciate what it's like to be on the other end of scatter laser bikes and the aspect formation, because it hurts. Second game was against and the Eldar one I did lose, unfortunately. The Grey Knight battle, that one went a lot better for me. It was against Grey Knights, and it was just everything fell into place for that mission. It was just right maneuvering, the right timing when it came to objectives. Everything came in on time when it came to deep striking, and it just worked out really, really well. So I was really happy with that one. Next one was Marines, and oh my goodness. Love the army. It was just a beautiful, beautiful Ultramarines army, and I like playing against this player. He comes down to our local shop too for some tournaments, and he's a lot of fun. He was playing with the new Marine Codex, of course, and it was like this endless swarm of Marines. There were just so many drop pods and so many rhinos on the table, and it was just some of the missions that came down to having to clear these guys out of my deployment zone, and no matter how many shots I put into these guys, they just kept coming. And I tried to focus on my objectives too, and I just couldn't get the points up. But it was pretty cool. I did manage to kill off a lot of units. It just wasn't enough. So. But it was a lot of fun. So those were the 4 games I did play. So it was 3 losses and a win. The missions themselves, the ITC rules were really good. I really liked how it focused on both objectives at the end for some of them. Some of them focused on kill points, and then of course there was a Maelstrom variety mixed in there. Every turn you were rolling for 2 different missions that you had to focus on, and same thing with your opponent. So I really like that. Some of the missions I think could be just tweaked a little bit when it comes to Maelstrom, because when I was stuck back in the Marine battle trying to clear out my lines so I could gain a victory point for having my lines entirely clear of enemy units, I got that a few times that rolled up, and it was just so hard to get them out, and his objectives were just kill a unit. It's all good. But I think they really made a big difference in these types of missions, and it made it a lot more fun, and it made people use the entire board, whereas a lot of other tournaments, you see people just kind of snake into one side of the board and just stick over there and just fight it all out, where the rest of the table isn't even used. So it just turns into this huge bloodbath, which is cool too, but I like being able to move around a lot more. Timing for the rounds were pretty good. It was like 2 hours a round. Some people were mentioning that they wanted more time. I don't know. I kind of like the idea of a little bit more pressure. I'd even like an hour and 45 minutes. When it comes to a tournament, I like there being a need to get things done, and a little bit of pressure when it comes to rounds. But that's just me. Painted, there were some beautifully painted armies. I wish I had time to get more pictures, but I was just go go go. Um, there was just some really really impressive units out there, and how they were painted. Um, that is one thing I was a little disappointed about. There was a lot of armies that had half painted models, and even armies that weren't even painted at all. Now, it's understandable if someone's getting into the game right away, but for the veterans, it just kind of makes me, I don't know. It just doesn't feel right playing against an unpainted army in a tournament setting. But again, that's just me. When I think about a tournament, I think we're kind of celebrating the whole, skill of a player, and other aspects of the hobby, including painting, conversions, and stuff. Um, what else can I say? I guess really in the end, when it comes to playing against an unpainted army, it's like facing a hockey team without jerseys, right? Um, Overall impressions, I really enjoyed this tournament, and I'm really excited for the next one. I hear there's a possibility of late January, mid February, hopefully mid February, because late January my schedule is probably going to be pretty crazy. But if it's in February, I'm going to the next one. What I would do next time is probably maybe research a little bit more on some of the Tau stuff, because I think that was my biggest shortfall. It's just not knowing some of the other armies, and definitely placing some of my units would be a little bit better too. I don't know. Maybe next time I'll just bring up my Dark Eldar and just see how far I can go with them. Anyways, with that said, hopefully you guys enjoyed this little kind of recap of the tournament. And if you guys ever get an opportunity, go check out One Plus Armor's channel. I'll also put their link in the description below too. So with that said, I will talk to you guys later. Bye now.